All right, so we are now live. You are tuned into Kickback After Dark. Allow us 20 seconds of grace to make sure that everybody can see the live taping. And then we're going to get right into the conversation. I have a special guest with me here today. And everybody know I'm from DC Uptown. Shout out to all my Uptown niggas. Shout out to everybody
Shout
that's high DMV. Love
out to
all of you.
Uptown.
Love all of you. And we have somebody that's very well known back home. Um, hold on, man. I just went live, man. That's crazy. But yeah, because I clicked on Facebook, so Facebook was talking. He was talking. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But let's see. This is gonna be a good show, y'all. We have added a few different components to a pod named Kickback. And when we doing the show essentially by myself and bringing on co-hosts that can help me build it and make it even better than what it was, I'm very excited to have this guest. Debbie Payton is on, and we're gonna have a very adult conversation about some adult things, but it's gonna be done with respect and it's gonna be done. Whoa, there's a typo. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me see. Yeah. There we go. So it's gonna be a very good conversation. I believe it's something that you guys have said y'all have wanted, and I'm just happy to be in a position to give it to you. Debbie, how you feeling?
I feel good. I'm tired. I'm happy. I'm blessed.
That's what's up. And
Yeah.
for you guys watching, if I'm looking here, that's because I'm looking at the camera. I have Debbie here on my monitor, but I will be looking here, but I'm talking to her. So don't be confused
Yeah.
by the up and down, whatever. But how you feeling today? I know specifically, I actually care. How do you feel today?
I feel pleasantly exhausted.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
It is my pleasure to be this level of tired that I am because we busy right now. Shit is moving right now. It's good, like I'm blessed. I'm
Uh,
tired though.
I
I'm
feel you. I feel
tired.
you. My
We've been going hard since my birthday. Like, I didn't even cut you off, but like, shout out to my team because they did that motherfucker for my birthday. My clients performed on my birthday, which was crazy, and it's just been,
and your
it's been
client's
it's
name
been a
is
whirlwind. I'm sorry.
your client's name is.
Shout out to Pinky the rapper, and that's
Shout out to Pinky
Pinky
the Rapper.
THA rapper, Pinky the rapper. She got me booked and busy, y'all. So like when other artists be reaching out and y'all be like kind of blown, like somebody hit me today and asked me to do a song review. I'm like, bro, I don't have time for that. Like it's no disrespect, but I said, listen, that's like asking a mechanic to look at your car real quick. No. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Mhm.
work. I'm tired. And shout out to Super Tripper. We going to fuck up this year. So yes, I'm pleasantly exhausted.
My father figure, one of my best friend's father that raised me, he always would say, being tired is a badge of honor. Like you
Yeah,
earn that. You earn that.
yeah,
But the
yeah.
definition of lazy is resting before you're tired. So I
Hmm.
keep those two things in my mind. If I am tired, that's a badge of honor. But if I rest before I'm tired, I'm being lazy.
I felt like I did that enough. Like after I did the festival last year, I just was like, all right, I'm gonna chill. I just chilled for a little bit, and but for me, when it's go time, it's go time. Like there's no days off. Like our schedule's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
and I tell Pinky that's what it's gonna be. You want to really do this shit, we're gonna really do this shit. Like it's gonna be dates back to back to back. And when we do sessions, we doing 8 hours in, 12 hours in, like, cause what we gonna do with 3, 4 hours, like these artists need to record, but it's worth it.
That's what's up. So you have an artist, Pinky the Rapper, that we just talked about, but I want to
Hmm.
dig a little deeper. You you manage artists. You have a management company. Like what exactly, in what capacity do you work with artists?
Yes, I do manage artists right now. I am with Fat Monkeys Records, and to be clear, we are not a record label. We are a management company. My partner, Asian or Az, we call him. He works with Big Flock, and then we have Pinky, and we have Super Tripper, and that's the team under the management company right now. And that's for right now. You know, before there's been other situations, but at this current moment, I'm with Fat Monkeys, and
Okay,
that's the team.
that's what's up. And we talked earlier off mic, and that's where we think our paths have crossed. With me
Yeah,
being a rapper, I consider myself one of the pioneers of the DMV scene, and I think that we have crossed paths either at Ibiza or working with Trill, or
somewhere it could definitely been a trail situation.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, definitely could have been a trail situation. Even with like with him, it's like doing this all over again. It was so crazy and just so busy and so fast and so quick. Like, you know, the only difference now and then is that we were still doing hard copies at that time. Like, this is a time where
yeah.
everything is just like so quick to be uploaded, and you know, these reels and YouTube shorts and all these different avenues that people are
Mhm.
using, TikTok, and it just it just creates like the situation what we were doing at that time, but it's different now because that streaming shit just takes it to a whole new level. Like, you don't even know you got fans from here to there. Back then, you knew your fans was in this
Right.
region because you were hand
Roots,
passing
we can
out
touch it.
CDs.
We can
You
touch
know what I'm
you. Yeah,
saying? But yeah, but now it's like you got fans over here, there. So you know,
yeah, and that kind of leads into the podcasting because like we got a badge. I use a particular podcasting site where I upload all my material, and they send me a badge like congratulations, you've now hit 50 countries. And I'm
hmm
like, how the fuck we hit 50 countries? I can't even name 50 countries. You know what I'm saying?
well,
Like,
Facebook is an awesome tool.
man,
You
a lot
know,
of people scared of Facebook and they do the Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. Man, Facebook has been one of my most loyal platforms. Like, yeah, like I think my biggest video that I ever had came from Facebook. So yeah, Facebook is a
it's
slept
not
on
that
tool.
people are not really what they don't like about Facebook is how it's driven. Facebook is a lot more personal.
Yeah.
Instagram is very impersonal. It's just like, okay, boom, highlight reel of my life. This is what I want you to see. And then Twitter is
Hmm.
very like it can get derogatory, things get crazy on Twitter. You know, your emotions don't even have to you don't have to be tapped in. And then Facebook is like this, like the family reunion place where it's gonna be people from high school, your family members are gonna be on there, and some people you might know from business is gonna be on there. So the vulnerability level is a lot different on Facebook, and that's why a lot of people don't bang with it because people get on there and they really talk about like more, you know, just personal things than they do on the
Hmm.
Instagram or and even when it's done on Instagram, it's done kind of like, okay, you thought about how you wanted this fucking caption to look for this post, it's politically
Right.
correct, and like it's a big thing to put something on your feed on Instagram, but on Facebook, yeah, it's a different animal. That's why people are like, I'm good on Facebook because it's like I have to talk. I have to be personal. I have to be someone. A lot of people are not using their Facebook just for business. Like I said, your auntie's commenting on your Facebook page on
Right.
Facebook.
Right.
Some shit that
And
ain't
that
got
is
nothing to do with nothing.
right. And that is, I think, a big component because you're like, who gonna see this on Twitter?
hmm
Everywhere else, it's the crew, it's the fellas, it's the girls. But on Facebook, it's grandma might be on there, and I
And it's
think
not
people
as
get
personal,
scared.
you know. Twitter is a lot of other people's business. You know,
Yeah.
Instagram is a lot of memes and reposting. Facebook gives you this big space to just talk and be human, you know. And that's
Mhm.
why a lot of artists they don't use their Facebooks like they use their other social platforms because they want you to know what they want you to know. And that's it.
I agree. And Kickback After Dark is probably one of those things that's like oxymoronic to Facebook, even though we're on Facebook,
hmm
because it's an adult conversation. It's a sex positive conversation. It's about preference. It's about best practices. It's about education. You know what I'm saying? And
hmm
it's about some good stories too. Like I'm not going to act like this is the Bible of sex. Like nah, it's not straight laced like that. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
don't
it
think they would
is
come to us for that.
exactly. But it is a conversation that needs to be had, and that I take pleasure in having. And I listen to. I'll get into the other podcasts I listen to have this conversation. But it's a
Okay.
conversation that's. I remember a few years ago, like I have a lot of female friends, so I don't.
Mhm.
And we were talking, and we were just all sipping, smoking, having a conversation. And it was like, man, nowadays don't even care about our orgasm. They don't even care. They basically like men jerking off in the pussy is basically how it came off. And I was like, damn. As a person who like, and we'll get into this later, but as an orgasm fetish, it was like, niggas just really just jerking off in the pussy, uh. And hearing that made me want to have more conversations and productive conversations, whether it helps the man or it helps the woman. And that's kind of how this was birthed. And I was doing it
Mhm.
with different podcasts, different people. And I decided I wanted to do it on my own. I wanted to continue the conversation myself,
Mhm.
um, which it was a small part of my podcast, but now I can do an entire episode dedicated to it. And let me give you a round of applause because you are the first person that has been on this iteration of the podcast.
Okay.
Give me a round of applause for that.
Mhm.
And so I would like to kind of delve into some of the topics if you're ready.
Mhm. I'm ready. How do I share this though? Like, I want to make sure people are seeing this
Um,
conversation.
I'll tell you what, I will do a quick summary. And if you can, I tagged you in on Facebook at least. And if you could
Okay.
go ahead and share it there, then we can continue the conversation. But while you're doing that, I'll say that I'm very happy to be doing Kickback After Dark. We all know it's a pod named Kickback. You can see on the mug, it's a pod named Kickback. And we do the biggest stories of the week. We do pop culture, politics, music, sex, sports, but I felt like sports was getting neglected. So now I have a
Mhm.
kickback sports episode. Then I felt like some of the sex positive talk was getting neglected because we're doing Donald Trump stories. So I was like, I need to have a kickback after dark section. And
Mhm.
then I felt like sometimes you just want to interview a person. You want to know what they do, how they are, what's going on with them. But that doesn't fit into that parameter. So I did kickback conversations where I can just
Okay.
talk to somebody one on one. And I'm looking forward to the change. Of course, I don't have any co-hosts anymore. So everybody's a guest host. So I figured
Oh,
what's the
okay.
best way to handle that?
Mhm.
So I, came up with those different categories of shows because they're all their own individual show. It's all on the
Okay.
same network, all on the same streaming platform. But on Thursday mornings, you will get a pod named Kickback. But during the week, you might get Kickback Sports. You might get Kickback After Dark. And you might get Kickback Conversations. And right now, this is Kickback After Dark, which has been the most praised
Well, of
new
course it has.
episode. Everybody going crazy. Oh, y'all doing Kickback After? I'm like, whoa! I didn't know that was going to be
Of
the biggest
course.
point. I should have known. I should have known.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think that's most adults' favorite.
yeah, yeah, should be. That is definitely. If it's not my favorite, it's definitely up there. I'm keeping it 100.
Mhm.
But as we get into the conversation, I kind of want to get some background information on you, um, just to kind of see where the conversation goes. So first, and I think foremost, what we found in most recent years, that women are fluid. A lot of women are
Mhm.
fluid. A lot of men are fluid.
Mhm.
And when you go and approach these adult conversations, one of the first things I wonder is, what's your sexuality? Do you like, just men, quote unquote, strictly dickly? Do you like women sexually or do you like women relationally? Because there are some women who I can fuck another woman, I can't be in a relationship with her.
Mhm.
Those two different things. And in going down this path, how would you categorize yourself? Um, I guess the correct term would be sexuality. Like, are you into women? Are you into like dating women, relationships, or is it a fun thing, or is it like not at all?
I'm definitely into women. I
Okay.
am not into relationships with women, but I have been in relationships with women before. Like my high school
Okay.
time was very much like giving girlfriend, but now it's definitely just the one. It's like tunnel vision kind of thing. I definitely couldn't be in a relationship with a woman, and I don't want to say why. I don't want to offend anybody, but it's just not
Okay.
for me. But the sexual part, yes, two thumbs up. Like everything that they say that it is, you know, for sure. And I
Okay.
prefer like feminine women.
Okay. And I'm gonna I got a question on that. Everything that they
Hmm.
say it is, what
Hmm.
do they say it is?
Well, guys kind of be in their feelings because they feel like women have these like different kind of orgasms with other women, and it's like, what the fuck, you know? But I think, I mean, I'm sorry, it really is that. It's just I don't know, maybe because we understand each other, we know each other, and it's already like a heightened thing to do, especially if you're not. That's just not your typical life where you just you sleep with women all the time. So it's like an experience, and anytime you experience in anything, you're going to be a little bit more aroused than usual.
Okay, I can definitely understand that. I do want to get
Hmm.
more specific because I got something to add to this conversation based on my experience. Is it the is it a heightened passion or is it literally a physical technique when it comes to cunnilingus? If it's like women eat pussy better than men, is that the prevailing thought, or is it that women are more passionate than men, or is it that
Um, I don't even think it's any of that. It's always for me chemistry, no matter what the gender is of the person. With two people, it's always the chemistry you have with a person. But I do think, I guess you could say technique is different because we know just certain touches and stuff not to do. Because when females are sitting around and we having girl talk and stuff, we share certain things and we have commonalities there. But at the same time, people are people individually. They like different shit. So it doesn't matter if it's two whatever, two different genders, same different genders. It's just about knowing what that person likes and trying to figure that out. But I think when it comes to the act of it with two females, the interaction is different for a lot of reasons. For one, with males, you you know what tool you working with. Like, okay, this is. I mean, you don't. I'm sorry, you don't know what tool you're working with until it's there.
okay?
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay. But with females, we know a woman's body too. But I think there's women who, like you said, they're not really into it. They just may have had like threesomes or something before and there was another woman involved, but they wouldn't sleep with a woman on their own. It's totally different from a woman who would sleep with a woman without a man. That means you're just into it. And when you're just into it, it's different.
Yes, I heard everything you said, and I've received it. I receive it, but I want to dig a little deeper because it's not technique. So is it for lack of a better term, is it the tenderness? What makes
It's the tools. That's what I'm saying. It's the
the
tools.
the
Like it's not a
tools?
dick. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It's titties, it's ass, it's pussy. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's like it's not a fucking hairy ass man back and just a dick. It's different. Like
Okay,
it's delicate. And the reason why I'm not gonna say that it's a technique because some dudes they know what they're doing when it comes to eating pum pum and some dudes they don't. And some females, I mean, they suck too, and
yeah,
some of them it's great. Like it's not that, but the overall is like it's two totally different tools. You can't compare it. Like if I was dating a guy and that guy told me he liked men also, I would feel like there's nothing I can compare because that he has a different tool than me. You know what I'm saying? So if you're attracted to that tool, I don't. How can I compete with that? Like if I'm dating a guy who's straight and he like another bitch, I'm like, may the best bitch win. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you got what I got. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. When two women approach it, like we know what each other has. You come to the table and you want the breasts, you want the pom pom, you want the ass, you want the sexiness of a woman. Like it's different because it arouses you the same way it arouses a man who's straight. You know, when he see it, you already aroused. It's just that we don't have a physical showing to when we're aroused like guys do. But it's the same thing for women, except for just like pounds down there if you're excited. But it's like, okay, if I'm sleeping with a woman, I know she got titties, she got pum pum, she got ass, whatever. Like whatever I'm attracted, physically attracted to about her. But for guys, different. Like, so it's not like a
Wow.
woman's technique is always better or a man's technique is always better because, like I said, some people are shitty either way around. You know, it all
Facts.
depends on the person. And then sometimes it's just for me as an adult, like I'm not old, but I'm a grown ass woman at this point in my life, like you know, mid 30s. So my sexual experience, like I know what I want, I know what I need, I know what to expect, I know what I'm willing to give. I'm not shy or timid when it's time to become intimate with somebody. Like if it's a male in that situation or a female, which for me 90% of the time is gonna be a guy. You know, like I went through a certain point where I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm fucking women, but now it's just like, I mean, I would, but it's not. It's different. Yeah. Because it's like, what do I want to wake up to every fucking day? You know,
Right,
like,
right. And that's
yeah.
what it boils down to. Typically, when we in our adult phase, you know what I'm saying? Like, who I want to wake up
Yeah.
to. But you said something very interesting. Um, that it's not about the quote unquote two, or it's about. It became more about the sexual act and more about
Mm-hmm.
this attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Like you may want titties, you may want ass, you may
Mm-hmm.
want dick, or whatever. But it became more about the person and
Mm-hmm.
less about the sex. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a mistake that a lot of men make, including myself, because I had an argument ready for you, and you just
Mm-hmm.
shut me down already because you made it about the attraction as opposed to the performance.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was prepared to be like, like I got this joke where I'd be like, I eat the best pussy in the world. There's a girl in Alaska. She's really good. She's like right on my level, but nobody in America is going all the way to Alaska. So I'm like the king. And I was gonna make
Mm-hmm.
that joke, but then you made the point that like it ain't really about technique. It's about
Mm-hmm.
attraction. It's about
Because
what
women love dick that like dick. They also sleep with women. You know, this is why most of the time when they do sleep with women, it's in a setting of a,
threesome.
threesome. You know,
Mhm.
for most of the point in time, it's not her seeking out another woman because they love dick. You know, like so we can't say that, and it could be not even all that. Like because to be honest with you, most women are not sexually satisfied with their partner, but they like his ass so much that they're satisfied.
Okay.
You know, because women, when
Yeah.
we like you, we put a lot of shit to the side. Most of it is
Yeah.
our red flags, you know, and we'll fucking moan like a fucking wolf on a full moon. And then you don't even got a big dick or nothing, but you just like him so much. So when he touch you, you feel something different. You feel it all through your body. When he kiss you, you feel it all through your body. Like when you become intimate with him, you're on a different level of arousal because you into him. You know, and like when you, like I said, I'm a grown woman. So when it comes to the act of being intimate with somebody, it's a lot different than how I would think at 22. Like at this point, you don't fuck somebody just because they cute.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's a little bit deeper than that. Like I gotta be into you. I gotta know a little something. Like I gotta, because why else would I be turned on? Just because? That doesn't work at this point. You know, I'm not fucking 17. You know, I don't give a shit
Right.
about your ass. Like
Right.
even we can find somebody like super attractive, and you know, most people who end up in their marriages, they didn't pick that person because they were so ultimately attracted to them. There's all these other qualities that qualified that person to be their forever person. you know, and that's how intimacy works. Really, it's beyond the physical, but the
Absolutely.
other shit that's beyond turns the physical up. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
changes the fucking physical because how you feel about that person. So I think even if it's like a one night stand, for example, right? Do you know how many people thought they was in love after 1 or 2 days?
A lot.
Do you know how many people decided to make this move to have this one night stand because their level of physical attraction was very high? They could
Mhm.
not leave that person's sight without getting to it. And they put everything else to the side. Like, I don't care if this person never called me. I gotta have this moment. Like that's a
Yeah.
certain level of, you know, so that
Action.
little
Yeah.
intimacy gonna be turned up. Even if it was some shit, she might look back and be like, damn, he was fine and shit, but his dick was trash. Or his dick was
Yeah.
small, whatever, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
Especially if y'all having drunk sex, because sometimes that can go way bad. But
Yeah.
but you know,
Been there.
it's levels to it. You know, like when you meet a person and how you're attracted to them and how you decide to be intimate with them. That's why I don't believe that if you do become intimate with somebody quick, then that means that y'all won't ever be bonded up. I was with somebody for
Yeah.
6 years.
Sex on first night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the same thing with me. Like I always be like, you ain't gotta hold it for me. You ain't gotta save it. Give me mine now. I'll take it today. You ain't
It all
gotta save
depends on the person. That's why guys don't understand, right? This is why guys don't understand why
it. Break it
women
down.
are like, why do I have to work for it and this other guy didn't have to work for it? Or why do
Oh,
you
I do
expect for me to
understand that.
bun you, but you just let him hit it? Like y'all don't understand. The compliment is not even in the one who she decided maybe it was only gonna be sex. She might have thought you're only just attractive, but you're a fucking idiot.
Facts. I have, and I agree with you 100%. But I've been in that situation where I'm like, I'm not waiting. I'm not playing that game because I know how many women I fucked the first night. Well, what the humbling part was, they were willing to fuck me. They weren't willing to love me. You know what I'm saying? They was willing like, we here, you here, I'm here, let's get it. But they weren't willing to like maybe necessarily have a lifelong relationship. And I had to realize that like she don't see me as husband material. She see
Mhm.
me as a fun ass time,
Mhm.
not husband material though. And my chest used to be poked out because I'm like, you waited how long?
Mhm.
Nigga, don't I never gotta like whatever. I never gotta wait, whatever. But then I realized that that's not always a compliment. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It is, and it took me a minute to 46 now. It took me a minute to grasp that that isn't always a compliment. She may
Right.
see me as
Sometimes it's like because I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you're
or that too.
attractive
That
and
too.
you're, you know, there's good qualities about you, but you're not somebody who I want to invest in. When a woman wants to invest in a man, she wants to know I'm more than just sex. Let me show you. And I'm going to show you
Yeah,
because I'm going to take my time. I'm going to show you who I am. Women spoil when they really fuck with a dude. Like, and when she
absolutely.
likes you, that little grace period in between fucking you is trying to show you why I should be your girlfriend. And then it's in the girlfriend mode is let me show you why I should be your wife. So she's gonna do certain things and perform differently than with a dude. Like that's why some dudes that want to walk around and say, "Yeah, I hit," like, and think that the woman trying to hide it or ashamed. Sometimes I didn't tell anybody because it shit was garbage. Like it was nothing to talk about. Sometimes I wouldn't tell anybody because your fucking dick was small. Like, and I didn't want to embarrass you because you cool. You know, so like, why would I speak on it? Like, there's other reasons why women do things that the way we do. And the funny thing is, we can never think for each other as men and women because you guys run on testosterone and we run
Facts.
on estrogen. You know, so like the
Hmm.
way we think and the way you guys think is Not the same. It's never the same because we
It's
think
never gonna
y'all
be.
already can read our mind and what we want and what we expect and shit like that. And then we think that you guys are thinking about totally different things that you're not thinking about, like other bitches, for example. Like we might be like, oh, he acting funny, like he must be talking to somebody else. And whole time, a nigga over there stressed out trying to get some shit together for your ass. Like I'm trying to build on some
Preach,
shit. Like
talk to him,
it ain't
talk
got nothing to do with
to
no bitch. But because you guys suck at communication, we tend to create things in our mind.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Me personally, a little bit older, communication, setting the expectation. That's like where I'm at in life right now. Like I'm gonna set the expectation. I'm gonna communicate when it change, and I'm gonna tell you when a boundary has been crossed. But I know as a general rule, men don't do that. So I'm not sitting here like men
No,
always.
because it's when
No,
y'all
we don't.
going through some shit that don't have nothing to do with the women. It might be some family shit. It might be some money shit. It might be some, something of that nature. You might be something going on between you and your man. You know what I'm saying, that you
Yeah,
might not necessarily want to share with her. And when it's those things, you guys suck at communication because you don't really want to share. Anyway, because you
yeah,
kind of like, okay, I know how she's gonna be in this, and there's certain things that both men and
yeah,
women just like to keep to themselves. And when y'all going through family shit, like say for example, because we're in an age group where our parents are getting older and people parents die. Sometimes men shut the
mhm,
fuck down. They don't say anything. They don't want to fuck as much no more. She thinking, oh, he creeping, he doing this, that, and the third. Whole time he's like mentally fucked up. Like he don't know what to do with his emotions. He don't really want to talk about it. But it's just like she coming home to that every day. So it's just creating this ball of confusion and assumption. And this is why our shit be going left.
that is a perfect example because I have a sick parent. So I'm coming back
Mm-hmm.
home to DC. I'm in. She's in it's not a hospice, but
Mm-hmm.
she's in a facility. So I have to go to the facility. I got to make sure they're treating her right. I got to see how she's doing. And that should be on my mind. Like I always say,
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was gonna pass, and I don't want to make this a sad thing, but I thought
Right.
she was gonna pass a few years ago, and she's still here. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
eternally grateful. I'm super happy. I am on cloud nine, but I mourned her 3 years ago. I went through like
Mm-hmm.
9 month period where I mourned
Mm-hmm.
her because what the doctor said. 3 years later, she's still here. And I'm grateful. I'm not being the smart ass. I am thank you, thank you, thank you that she is still here. But I know I wasn't a pleasure to deal with 3 years ago.
Exactly.
I know I
But y'all don't
wasn't. You
say,
know,
that's the stuff y'all don't say though. That's what I'm saying. It's certain stuff y'all don't say. Like it's other shit you'll let your girl know, all right, boom, boom, this was going on. But there's certain things like when it's gonna make a man emotional, he don't really want to talk about
mhm. I am. I would like to think, and this may not be true, but I would like to
it. Mm-hmm.
think I am better at communicating than the average man because I was raised by women. Like I was raised by my mother and my aunt, and I'm just more sensitive. Like just to keep it 100.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to communicate a little bit better and communicate with women better because I was raised by women. My father wasn't there, so I was raised by women. And my nigga, Sergeant Big Burger, I was raised by my big homies too,
Mm-hmm.
who's tuned in right now. Matter of fact, he said, "You're dropping Jews" on Facebook. He just said that. And Shannon said that then when you stop going back to liking a man, not caring about his sex game, and then when you stop liking them, you realize it was always trash. So I guess that's a woman thing. Like you be like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, absolutely. Because we knew. That's what I'm saying. Like we knew deep down. Like sometimes with women, your dude dick not that big, but guess what? You gonna do tricks on that motherfucker because you love his ass. Like, and it's like whatever. That's your motherfucking king. Because we respond. Like we respond. So if a dude is giving us certain shit, like yeah, you gonna get a certain like this stuff that people think don't exist. This soft feminine women who like love on you and do all this shit. But then when you get like this raggedy ass fucking dirty boxes, fucking can't keep a job, smoke weed all day ass nigga, yeah, that bitch gonna be yelling, angry, don't want to fuck, like carrying the shit out of you, disrespecting you, calling you out your name, all types of shit, because you're not in your rightful position as a man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we respond like all of those things is how we respond sexually. That guy is
Okay.
not getting the best poom poom from his girl. That's why a woman can date two different men, three different men, right? Over the course of time, whatever. I don't give a fuck if she dated three different men in 3 months. That's her prerogative. But what I'm saying is these guys may get a different version of her.
Facts.
One person might think she's a bitch. Another person be like, damn, Shorty was cool as shit. Like, I don't know why she stopped talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we fall back because we scared too. And then another dude might get the situationship where y'all been fucking with each other for a minute, but neither one of y'all actually pursue a relationship. Y'all done took the condom off and everything. Still ain't in a relationship. Like shit gets
Mm-hmm.
weird and complicated and y'all fuss and then y'all date other people, but y'all go back to each other and then y'all fuck raw again, even though you haven't even fucked with this person in a couple months because that's that person. Like
Yeah.
you get different versions of what you create though with women. So
Facts. Facts. You drop a
you create
motherfucker.
a fucking
Facts.
demon, you gonna get a fucking demon. You create an angel, and sometimes bitches is got, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna fake. And then sometimes it's reactive.
A bunch of stuff you accept and experience before healing. Okay, so ladies, and then Berger was like a round of applause for what you just said. So I don't know if you can see the Facebook responses.
I can't see anything.
Okay, well, so I'll relate it to you, but people
Okay.
are agreeing with everything you're saying. They're like you're saying facts, so they're
They
agreeing.
must have been in real adult grown up relationships because we go through these kind of trials and tribulations with each other, especially having children and all that too. Like women, we react sexually even differently after children. Like
Yeah.
there's been situations where a guy might be in a little front. He knew dad, whatever, and she want to get back to fucking. So she's like, what
Mhm.
the hell is going on? Like, and again, if you leave us that gray area to assume, oh motherfucker, not only are we gonna assume, we're gonna throw a bomb on that bitch. We're gonna assume and make up all types of scenarios to go with the fucking
Yeah,
assumption. And now it becomes like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, well, you didn't tell
yeah.
me shit, so you allowed me to do this. And then we start dissecting the truth from you guys finally because we done blew the shit up so bad. It kind of forced you to tell us we're wrong, but you're telling us where we're wrong. So now we're trying to get some clarity. But that shouldn't be how we resolve things in relationships.
Yeah, I would agree. I am a firm believer in set the through therapy, a firm believer in set the expectation and communicate when it changes. So I don't think any woman I deal with is confused. She knows
We
exactly
need
what
to
it
set the
is.
sexual expectation too.
Absolutely. I'm a freak ass nigga. Like I'm spitting in mouths. I'm on some
But a
shit.
lot of
We can get
people,
into
like,
that later, but
there's
I
there's a lot of women who don't feel comfortable telling their guy what they're actually into because these guys expect for you to play this like wifey, keep it in the house role. Like, you can be sexy but only on this level. And that makes her feel like insecure when she wanna tell you certain shit she might want to turn up,
yeah.
especially if you've been with somebody for a little minute. So like all y'all niggas, y'all need to work on that. Like don't make your bitch feel weird because she wanna try something new. Don't accuse her of talking to somebody else. Don't nobody want to do fucking missionary, lay on your back, doggy style, lay on your side, do the same fucking three things for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So be
That's
open with your partners and
um
allow them to express themselves. But same thing with guys too. Like y'all don't act like all you like is big asses when that ain't what the fuck you watching on Pornhub. You watching some other shit. So
bro,
that shit you watching, you need to tell
bro.
her so she can participate in whatever it is that you like, or play a role with that, be a part of that fantasy with you. Like, don't keep your partner excluded from that because that's how you keep your sex life mid instead of
I agree.
turned up. Like,
I agree.
everybody 50s is young to be fucking like, make sure y'all still having fun and allow that person to be their self and not feel judged so y'all not taking that shit elsewhere. That's why people end up doing that shit. Women too, People talk about how women cheat, but that's because our sexual expectations is not looked at the same as a man's. We know you gotta please your man and you better do this and do that, or he'll be out here, girl. You got a good man. You better blah blah blah. Okay, what about her? Nigga, you better be sending dick on delivery. The fuck? Because
Next.
you might have a fine ass woman too. This she knows she got options, but she love your ass. You know what I'm saying? So like some people, like I said, it's reactional. People are pushed to do certain things, and a lot of women start seeking attention elsewhere because the nigga stopped telling his girl she pretty. He stopped coming up behind her, slapping her on her ass. He stopped telling her thank you for that meal she just cooked. Like just appreciating when she changed her hairstyle, giving her little surprises. All those
Yeah.
things is what
It's
sexually
wild.
arouses a woman.
It's wild with me when niggas don't recognize that their girls change their hair. I I instinctually recognize. Yeah, little something. Yeah,
I think they
I just
recognize. I just think they
recognize
don't
it.
show that they give a fuck. Like they got to say it out loud. Like don't let her
Mm,
walk past you and she be like, "You like my hair?" And you like, "Oh yeah, it's cool." No, because the fucking six niggas and told her that she looked good before
exactly.
she got in the house. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget
Exactly.
like to give her that shit too, because I don't care what none of these females say. Women like attention. Not
And,
only do we
and
like it, we need it. You know what I
I
mean? Like
agree. You
we need
crave.
it.
I would take it beyond a need into a crave because you need air, but you might not crave air. You know what I'm saying? You need water. You might not crave water, but women crave attention.
But
It is
we need
a
validation in different ways as men and women. We
yes.
need to know that you still
Men do
like what
too.
you see.
Let me not say that. Men do
Exactly.
too.
That's what I'm saying. Men need it too. Like, because they
Yes.
going, especially if they got, people at work doing a little flirty shit and all that. You start to appreciate that shit outside your house because you don't feel like that at home no more. Y'all can't turn
Mhm.
into homies. Like your partner is supposed to be your best friend, but it should never get to a point where y'all homies now. Like you can't
I
be too much your homies.
Yeah, I definitely agree 1,000,000%, and I try to live my life along those lines, and move my relationships along those lines. But it's like I don't have a problem sharing that or expressing that. But I think the issue is when people do it. Like, duh, of course it's when they do. But I think that it shouldn't be an issue because I want to communicate um, how I feel, and my line is communicate how you feel and express when it changes. And I think if you do that, then everybody's on the same page. I don't ever want to be off of the same page with my spouse. You know what I'm saying? My woman
Well, you
sees
gotta
where I'm at.
feel super comfortable before that, and that's why, just going back
Why
to
see my spouse if we not super comfortable?
being well, this is what I'm saying. There's so many people in relationships that are not their full selves with their partner. They're only a piece of themselves with their partner. There's another piece of them that their partner doesn't recognize, and they don't recognize it because they're not allowed to be that person. If they got, there's a lot of variety to people. It's not People are not
Yeah,
just one way. That's why when we go to work, we put on our fucking customer service voice, yes ma'am, whatever, whatever. And then we get off work and we fucking rolling J's and talking shit.
code switching.
Yeah, so but it shouldn't be that in relationships, but that's the norm. And that's the norm sexually in relationships, is to not be your full self. You have got comfortable, things become a pattern, like you stop doing certain shit. It's, you feel like, okay, yeah, we locked in, da da da. No, nigga, you cannot just fucking sit around in your jersey with your feet crossed, eating nachos, watching fucking game all day, like, just participate with your partner, even still, like, because that shit gets to a point where y'all sex life just becomes like average and regular. And you know what's the crazy part? Most people who end up like that, they start off so wild. They got this like wild ass fucking sex life in the beginning, and it's like
Mhm.
da, 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 and that's how they got there. But then that shit, they lose that shit.
Yeah, they get married and everything changes. I would say
Mm-hmm.
have the open communication and stop because you were able to have that communication apparently at some point. Stop losing the ability to communicate that. and be free and willing to express when things change, and be free and willing to receive the expression.
You
Because
know what?
you can tell your woman, hey, baby, we got a little stagnant, and then it's a super insult. It's the worst thing ever. Or, hey, boo, you used to do this, you used to bend me over, now you don't. And then it's a super insult. Nah, listen to what your partner wants and have the desire to provide it.
Listen, y'all
You
ass
can-
be this is the thing. Y'all ass men in the beginning, when a woman dresses sexy and shit, showing off her curves, whatever, y'all love that shit. But y'all mark y'all territory. So
yeah,
once she becomes yours, it's like,
yeah,
but look,
you're right. But I've
but
dated
look,
some
that
D&B models that I
starts
never had a
to
problem with how they express themselves after we were in a relationship. And on camera we could talk about who they were, but I didn't have an issue with how they expressed themselves after.
you didn't have
How
an
I met
issue,
them.
but what I'm saying is like what I'm saying is this, right? In the beginning, what you attracted to this whole sexy ass being, right? Once a man marks his fucking territory, and now that's my girl, that's my woman, that's my lady. Some of those things start to turn down because we naturally like to. We like people for who they are, but we naturally like to condition them to be who we want them to be as well in a relationship.
Facts.
So we do that as women because we like, oh, you should wear this shirt. I bought you a watch. You know, we do that shit because we didn't like your old fucking shirts. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we start to build this man. And then men do the same thing. Yes, I liked her how she was, but now that she's my woman, why you gotta wear that? You got me. You know what you want to get attention from other niggas, and that's not insecure, whatever. To a certain degree, it's just now you're my woman, and this is how my woman, like this is how we are. This is how we should be, whatever. But that starts to turn her down, 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 down in the bedroom because now you've already gave her this reservation.
Hmm.
So now you talking 6 years later, 8 years later, 10 years later, she might not want to be like, you know what, be really fun if you just let me suck your dick in the backyard. Cause she might be like, he gonna be like, why would you want to do some shit like that? Like, what if somebody see us? I don't want somebody seeing my woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just saying, like, certain things, like little things that you guys may not realize, like it turns her down, and then you trying to figure out why was this so light and heightened thing in the beginning, and now it's not that way no more for both people, because now y'all both have not only tried to make these people your partner who you want to design them to be, you stop allowing them to be who they already were.
I agree. And I think that is a very, very important message. And I think men, fellas, homies, listen. I do want to speak for the men like me though. Just like
It's some out there.
I'm going to trapeze. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I use sex toys with my woman. I'm poly. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's we're not all like that. What you're saying is very important, and I think it speaks to the majority. So what
It
you're
does.
saying to me, I don't want to say it means more than what I'm saying, but it kind of means more than what I'm saying, just to be honest. But I do want to acknowledge the percentage of men who walk the path you're talking about. That
Mm-hmm.
you do exist.
Mm-hmm.
We're the minority, and what you're saying is 100% right. And that lesson is a lesson to be learned by the majority of men and a lot of women. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not discrediting that. You're right. I
Yeah,
agree with
women have to
you.
stop
Give me a
allowing
round of applause.
themselves to be lost
Round of
too.
applause for what you said. But there are a percentage of men
There
who
is,
eat the shits.
absolutely,
You know what I'm saying?
there is. But you know what? The men who are like that have found the right partner who also allow them to be that. Because there are guys who really like this girl, they fuck with her and all that, and they know they can't really turn up the same with Slim because she's not really with all that, but you really fuck with her. So there's this other little piece of you, this where it goes back to Pornhub, where you get your enjoyment there outside of her,
Yeah,
but you
I can't jail with a woman old man, you know what I'm saying? But I can't jail with a woman who I can't go there with. It ain't gonna
But
be.
see,
We can have fun, whatever our individual fun is.
but
But
you're
I can
poly
sit down
though.
with you.
You know what I'm saying? So like, just the people who are not poly, this is their
Yeah,
person. And don't get me wrong, most people don't put sex or sexual being sexual as much as a highest priority as things like finances, attraction, loyalty, education. Motherfuckers put sex down 6, 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to all these things, so
yeah.
there's a lot of marriages who don't have that, and there's not even just marriages, partnerships, whatever. Because it might be two women, it might be two men. Because we assume that, oh, if you're a same sex couple, your sex life must be amazing. No, they go through the same shit that a heterosexual couple would go through. Like
Yep.
when you just been together for a while and you kind of lost touch, and this person kind of over the years, like I'm 35, so if I met a guy at 24, I'm just throwing the age out there. My sex life or my desires or my wants and needs or my interests probably would change in a 10-year period. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I've been with him so young, and let's just say I'm 24, he was 30. So now he's a little older, and I'm just now I'm 35. I'm ready to turn up sexually because I know what I want. He's kind of like, babe, why we gotta. So it all
Whoa,
depends
whoa,
on the certain
whoa,
situation.
whoa. I'm 46.
But that's just you, though. I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, I'm just
Okay, okay.
regular, like, people who literally, and like, say for me, right? I don't just get off work and just chill. That's the rest of my day. I have busy ass days. But there's some people who just, that's it for them. That's the rest of their day. They get comfortable just passing out, going to sleep, turning their back on their partner, whatever. Like things get comfortable, is what I'm saying. Over time, like, it doesn't even matter, like, genders or whatever. It just, there's ways to keep that shit going.
Yeah.
Like you said, you mentioned toys and stuff like that. That's just like a piece of it. People's sexual desires are so big. That's why if you go on any fucking porn website, there's endless categories. It's not 3 categories. It's not 10 categories. It's like literally fucking like 20 categories. You're like,
Okay.
this is what people are into?
So my favorite porn category is ebony amateur orgasm. I have an orgasm fetish. I can't even really watch porn unless the woman comes and she gotta be black. So unless the black woman has an orgasm, I'm not truly enjoying porn. That is my category. I want the woman to come,
Mm-hmm.
whether she's coming with a toy or coming with a man or coming with a woman. I want to see the black woman come because that's my personal thing. What is your personal favorite porn category?
Lesbian.
Just lesbian, black,
You
white.
said my favorite. Oh,
I'm
black.
just trying to figure out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I said it
Okay.
doesn't have to be black, white, whatever. No, no
Black.
ethnicity. Or black lesbian porn.
Yes.
Okay. Is that I'll tell you. Well, I think I'd say why I prefer my particular category because I have an
Mm-hmm.
orgasm fetish. I like that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because is it a softness with the women porn, or
What
is
did
it
I tell you the first
sexual?
time? It has nothing to do with soft. It's titties and ass and bussies. That's what it is.
You said
Like,
that.
yes, I meant that. Like, dicks aren't that exciting to look at. No one wants a dick pic, by the way, if anyone's listening. No one wants that, especially unsolicited. Like, unless you my nigga and I ask you for that, please don't do that. It's disgusting. You guys don't have the most attractive dicks. You don't have the most attractive dicks attached to attractive bodies. Again, a lot of women love y'all ass for who y'all are. Okay, it ain't your dick or your face, or your Some of you guys have crazy looking feet, the whole nine. So listen, with females is because I want to see titties and ass and pussies. It's not like no deep nothing. That's what I want to
Okay.
see. That's what arouses me to see, like, female naked bodies. Dudes is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. It's not. But like,
Okay.
porn wise, that's my go to first, and then it would just be like, you know, have any.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy. Because I'm not really a big porn watcher anymore. I used to be, but not anymore.
Yeah, I like amateur. I like real shit because of course I want the real orgasm. I'm on to subscribe to some OnlyFans. I have not subscribed to an OnlyFans yet. I've dated women with OnlyFans pages, but I have
Hmm.
never subscribed to an OnlyFans page. But it's like I don't want the theatrics. I want the real shit. And so
Well,
I think I'm about to subscribe to. I am tailor made, either her or Dad Bakaya, but to get my money because
well, you just gave them a shout out. I don't know who those people are,
yeah, they
but
they
I'm sure
their
some
little
people gonna be
Twitter,
looking for them now.
yeah, their little Twitter 20-second clips
Hmm.
be looking real and real organic and real orgasmic. And so I'm like, So I will probably I don't pay for porn. I think when we was younger, we used to buy the porn DVDs and porn tapes. Like porn is free, but
Hmm.
I kind of want to see their videos. So I'm looking into that. So I may finally get my first OnlyFans subscription. Um, Dating. We mentioned, I date polyamorously. For the record, I date, because to be clear, I date ambiamorously, which means like if you're ambidextrous, you can use your left or right hand. I'm
Uh-huh.
ambiamorous, meaning that I could date monogamously or I could date multiple women.
Okay.
I'm not like, but I know people, especially women, who are like, I will never be monogamous again. I will only date a man and a woman, or two men, or whatever their preference is. I'm not. I don't have a hard line like that. Like I will never ever. No, you give me. I'm looking for a meaningful connection. You get me a connection with one woman that I feel like is forever. I'm,
Hmm.
I'm cutting all that shit out. But if you give me a connection with two women, I'm going with that too. Um, and I'm not the poly that's like you can't have another nigga. Like I'm not. I don't look at it that way. Like if we poly and that's how we
Yeah,
date,
that would
you
be
can
crazy.
absolutely have whatever other you want, whether it's a woman or a man. But having said that, that's how I date. How do
Hmm.
you date?
One person at a time. Unless, okay, talking to and dating is two different things for
Okay,
me. If I'm
okay,
talking to you, that means there's zero obligations. You
okay.
know, like if I talk to you, I talk to you. If I see you, I see you. If I don't, I don't. I don't inquire about what you're doing. You don't inquire about what I'm doing. It's just talking at this point. There's no plan, nothing. If I'm dating you, then it's probably a little bit more than talking. Like I'm interested in you. I want to see you. I miss you. What you doing? Like let's link up. Let's make plans. Like
Mhm.
so.
Okay. So you could not date polyamorously.
You know what? I don't know because it's like if really, I only really deal with people if I really fuck with them. You know.
Mhm.
So it's like if I really fuck with you, then I'm gonna fuck with you. Because I don't. I mentioned earlier that women need attention. We need attention from the right person. We get attention a lot with women.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? But we
Thanks.
don't give a fuck until it's the right person. It could be people in your DM and at the car wash, whatever, like trying to talk
Yeah.
to you. But it's that person for me. Like I'm like, okay, I like you. Because I'm the type of person like you could put 50 niggas in a room. I probably might be three out of 50. One of them, he funny as shit. Like, so I like hanging around with him. Like, he cool and he's a little swaggy because he's funny. Then there's another one that's like, damn, he fine as shit. Like, I know I would lose my fucking mind trying to talk to him because he's too cute. You can't hear me?
Now I'm being
Oh,
funny. I'm pointing at myself like that's me, that's me, that's me. I'm just being an ass.
oh yeah. And then the last one is the one that's like potential relationship. So I'm gonna take my time and I want to get to know him. I want him to know what I'm about. Like, really get to know my brain and what I bring to the table as a woman because I want to be with him.
I feel you. I, I um, and I hear that. I,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that before, so like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Um, and I think that's what the poly thing is, because I've had women be like on social media or whatever, be like, "Oh, you poly? I never done." I'm like, whoa,
I
whoa.
mean, for the most part, a lot of niggas are, they just don't tell you.
That is a big part of it. My thing with being poly is like it's an open conversation, and you gonna know where you stand with me at all times. But
That's what it should
yeah,
be when you use that title and that term. So yes,
yeah,
that is politically correct.
but it ain't always like I get to go fuck all these girls and you got to sit in the house. You can do, if we are in a true part of relationship, you can do you too. I ain't a nigga that's like, nah, I don't. And this is probably not the best example, but like when Kevin Gates was on Carisha Please, he was like, oh, you that nigga like bring home, come home and show me the video. Now I am a voyeur and I am an exhibitionist. So I have watched women that I dealt with fuck on tape. And that's my thing, ain't gotta be yours and nobody else's. But that isn't exactly what I mean. I don't mean that because there are women that I love that I know date other men that I don't want to watch the shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little extra. He's a little extra for me, but I get the sentiment. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes sense. And I think a lot of times when me and poly, men be like, yeah, I get to go do me, but you sit in the house. I don't really see it that way. Like you can do
Nah,
you.
if a nigga doing that, I don't give a fuck what he say. Anyway, I'm not sitting in no house.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know what? Me personally, just like you got your thing, and this is like, ladies, no cocky shit. I know y'all been there. I am what I call a relationship person. Like there's some women who date and niggas don't never want to bun them. It's like really hard for them to get into a relationship. They be like, yeah, I've been single for 5 years. They talk to guys, they fuck guys, they have situationships, but it never turns into a relationship. Every time I fuck with somebody, it ain't no, yeah, I'm just about to let her walk. Like it ends up being like, now I fuck with so like
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm a relationship person. So when I'm single, what niggas be like, oh, that gap open. Let me tap it real
You say
quick.
full
And
advantage.
then I'm
Yeah.
open. I'm not the type of person that takes like 2 years to get over somebody. I accept and move the fuck on. Like, and I don't if we broken up, I'm not gonna inquire what the fuck you doing. I'm not sliding back sexually. I'm not doing none of that. We're broken up. You do you. I'm gonna do me. So when in that process, it's not even like when I meet somebody else, I gotta worry about this past situation because this shit is cut. Like, and also the dude is like, okay, I fuck with you. So it's different. It varies for a person. So I don't really get that opportunity to be like, let me talk to 5 guys because,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I'm gonna know you women. We know which dude fuck with us. We ain't gotta do all that fucking chasing and all that gray area shit. If a nigga like you, he's definitely gonna let you know he like you. Like
Yeah.
even if he got
Facts.
like a weird ass personality, like he gonna show you in his way.
Right.
Yeah, because I had a guy like that who he's not a loud person. He don't yell. Like me and him have two totally different personalities, but he shows his love and affection by providing. He's not really a time person. He don't have a lot of time. He's a workaholic. But what I learned, and ladies, y'all don't fumble this because I learned my lesson. The niggas that work, let them work. Because the ones who free all the time, they ain't got no money to do none of that shit you want to do. All them Saturday nights, all them y'all looking on fucking Instagram and fucking bored and people sitting in little tiki huts and shit. That nigga gotta go to work if he gonna do that shit. And that's where we went left in that situation. But he also is a sometimes you can't be too nonchalant. Like, damn, nigga, say something. The fuck, you pissing me off. So you
Yeah.
need,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
need him to say something, but it's good when a guy's not like a yeller and throw a temper tantrum and disrespect you and call you out your name and all that stuff when he's upset. Like, it's good to have a man that knows how to keep his composure. But I was just saying that to say it depends, per situation with a person.
And I actually talked about that earlier tonight on the first live um about damn, how do I explain it? It was this or that. So it was, can you love someone through their traumas or do you have to wait until they heal from their traumas before you can love them?
Mm,
And and yelling and acting the ass could be their traumas. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? So I get what you're saying. As we wrap up, because this has been such a good episode, like it's like eight.
It's long as shit.
It's like five more topics. We'll get to that the next time we link up. But
Okay.
before we end it, because we're at an hour, so before
Yes,
we
it's
end it,
long as hell.
I wanna that's what she said. But before we end it, I wanna I do want to ask this question. What
Hmm.
is your favorite orgasm? And what is the style you like to give your partner orgasm? This is totally creep shit. This is some new shit. Cause I got an orgasm fetish. So everything else is
Yeah,
just
I'm like, huh?
oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this and blah, blah, blah. No, new wants to know because that is New's thing. Um, vaginal, clitoral, anal, other, and how do you like to make your partner come? Well, since you are into men and women, you probably have different ways of how you like to pleasure them.
Hmm.
So you can go into that. But what is your favorite orgasm to receive?
From a toy.
The toy. Now, is the toy clitoral? It was the toy
Yes, it's a
vaginal.
suction.
The rose.
No, it's something else.
Okay, because what I found is women love the rose, but women love the wand. But the wand doesn't suck. It's like a hard vibration on the clit. And what I found is that has been the number one toy I've used on a woman. The
Hmm.
rose is on internet the number one toy for women, but what I've personally experienced has been the wand because the wand is like the back massager, so
Hmm.
it's a large exterior, and you put it on a clit, and it got different levels of vibration. So yours is a toy that has suction, but it
Hmm.
is not the rose. Is it the
Correct.
squirrel?
No, it's called like Bomblex or something like Bomlex. Bomblex.
Okay.
It's purple and silver, ladies. You can get it on Amazon. It's like in the 40
Okay.
something dollar range, I believe. So
And it's a suction device, so it is like,
it vibrates and it sucks.
huh?
It vibrates and it sucks.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
pretty awesome. And like as far as for the guy, yeah, like so when I mentioned earlier, you gotta tap into what that nigga like. It's all in what that nigga like. Like if he like me to make it sound like we fucking making him porn, cause that turn him up. Like what? Whatever extra you want me to be. But it depends on that person. Like some dudes, I know it's a certain position. Like you like okay, he like this. This is gonna tap him out or whatever. Like because every trick is not for the last nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Mhm.
last nigga don't like that shit. You gotta do what this person like. As a woman, we can tell like when you start doing some shit, you like, I don't like that shit. He must have fucked somebody else. That's another bitch shit. She like because he wasn't doing that
Yeah,
shit at first.
yeah,
It's the
yeah,
same thing. So I ain't telling y'all all my secrets. This is for my nigga, wherever the fuck he is. But you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because it's for him. It's for him. So
Yeah.
y'all have to find out what y'all nigga like. If he wanted you to use two hands, if he wants you to turn the fuck up, if he wants you to sound like a porn star, like he like lingerie, if he like fucking orgasms, whatever, you gotta figure out what that nigga like. And that's how you get the job done. That's how you go out. That's how you get a fucking man. Cause all this sad ass shit I told you can't keep the nigga like figure out what he like. Talk to your nigga. Don't talk too fucking much because I don't like that either.
Yeah. And shout out to my little cuz Ron. Hey, Ron, we had JB on the first episode tonight.
Not
We
shout
did
out
a
to
whole
Ron.
episode with JB, but he's like, I see you got some homebred co-host. So he in the DMV, he watching like that's dead.
Oh,
Like
who is it?
you got some hometown people on. So yeah, we had Deb on tonight. We also had your big
Hey.
cousin JB on a couple hours ago. So go back and watch that episode too. But so niggas obviously recognize you. which is a good thing. That's a good thing. Um, as we wrap up, is there anything you want to plug? Is there anything you want to shout out? Any sites you want people to go visit?
You guys just follow me on Instagram. Y'all keep up with me on Instagram. It looks just like my name up there at Yes I'm Debbie, not I am YES. I am DEBBIE. We got a lot of shit going on. You know, you can pick your poison, whatever interests you. It's a lot of different shit going on. Shout out to my peoples, my artists, my family, Pinky the Rapper, Super Triple, Fat Monkeys Records, and all that there.
There it is. I think this was a really good episode. I think we gave people a good insight to relationships, just beyond, dick and pussy, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like we
you
really
got to
gave
know
them
how to get to it.
exactly, exactly, and I think we did that. I appreciate you doing the show. I have
You're
reached out and
welcome.
said, "Hey, I'm trying to, I'm by myself now. I'm trying to do some good shit. I need some good people with me." And I reached out and you responded, and I appreciate you for that. I have been a fan from a distance. As we said, probably fucking 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate you coming on. I hope to have you
And
back.
thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. And then we can do some things where we promote, some of your artists. Because this is a conversation, an intimate conversation one-on-one. But I do have other platforms where we promote artists. And so maybe we can do something different that, brings your artists on and allow them to promote themselves and, allow, because I'm in the A. So maybe
I
we could do
know.
something
Hey,
that kind of
Atlanta.
puts them in the A. All right. Well, I think that's it. Anything else you want to add? You want to tell them one sex tip before we get out of here? Anything crazy?
um, you know what? Wash our ass.
Wash your motherfucking ass.
And if your pum pum smelling funny, just go to the doctor, girl. Get that taken care of. That's nasty.
Yeah, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Just go fix it.
You shouldn't have no
It's
stinky
only
pum
be
pum.
ashamed if you show up without fixing it.
Yeah, and niggas too. Like, and don't have raggedy boxes, guys. Like, have some nice shit when you drop the motherfucking jeans or sweats, whatever the fuck you wearing. Make sure your shit look nice. Like, make sure your dick is presentable. Don't nobody want to see that shit. Like, you too grown for that. Take care of your shit, and that don't mean make it bald or whatever the fuck. Make sure that person likes that before you go do all that weird shit down there. But yeah, keep
Yeah,
your jewels nice and clean and pretty. That's my sex advice. You had the best sex ever if your
yeah,
pussy's pretty.
and for niggas like me that like to get their ass licked by a pretty girl, have
Mhm.
some wipes. Keep some wipes. Use wipes, not just toilet paper. Wipes,
You gonna have the girl mouth tasting like the fucking.
like the wipes. But I'm gonna tell you this. I think she would prefer that I use the wipes than I not, and it be a different.
No, because it's like if anybody goes to get a wax, real quick, if you go get a wax, you should take a shower before you go get a wax, absolutely. But there should be like a grace period in between the time of your shower and your appointment. So if you know you're gonna get it in, or if you think you're gonna get it in, you're not gonna get it in, just still wash. The wipes are cool. That's just for a regular day when it's non-sexual. But when you know you're about to get it in, just make sure you present yourself the best so you can have a good time. Like, do you know what a nigga do when your pussy's pretty and it smells great? Like all these bitches like, oh, he don't like to give head. You might want to, see what's going on about that. Like, it might be a reason for that. This goes back to the communication, but that's it for me. Keep your jewels clean.
The queen
That's
has spoken. Deb, I appreciate you doing this. We're gonna have a good time. The episode, I'm gonna make a bunch of clips, so we're gonna have it all over the internet. And I
Yeah.
thank you so much, and
You're
enjoy the rest
welcome.
of your
Thank
night.
you.
I'm,
Good
I'm gonna
night,
keep,
you guys.
I'm gonna keep sipping, and we up out of here. Uno, we out.
Peace.